Alrighty, everybody, this is beau-hindman for massively.com. It is the 15th of October 2013. Tuesday? Wednesday? Oh man, what day is it? Oh wow, that's
Tuesday.
Tuesday. That is a sure sign I've been playing too many video games. Alright, so today I'm going to do something special. It's not even special, I do it every once in a while. I'm streaming Free Roams, one of the most fantastically wonderful games to stream. And if you wonder why, all you have to do is look around. This is a streamer's dream. It's absolutely a blast to stream. It's bright, colorful. There's so many things to see. But today's special because we're going to have another SOE member join me. Last time it was Amri. She's joined me before, and she gets mobbed with 3 million people and all that stuff like that. Today I'm going to be joined by the producer, Steve, though, right?
Yep.
How you doing,
That's right.
Steve?
How's it going?
It's good. I didn't even know it. I was going to talk to you today because you are the man. You're the producer. You've been with the game since the beginning, you were saying?
Well, so I was on the original team as a project manager all the way through launch, pretty much.
Okay.
And I took a little short departure for a while within the company still.
Very cool.
And came back a couple years ago under a couple other producers and helped them out for a while. Then I took over the game myself.
Well, and you have a history with SOE anyway, right?
Yeah, I've been here for about 15 years.
15?
Yeah.
That's
Long
like
time.
that's like almost the beginning.
Yeah, back during Tanner's. Do you remember Tanner's?
Yes, the tank game, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea. You know, I probably did have an idea, and I just didn't connect the points because I'm very familiar with the Sony lineup. Sony is a fantastic company. In fact, I was going to write an article about how Sony has kind of transitioned from one of the most old school payment models, you know, subscription, multiple games, kind of Western style gaming, to this free to play and optional subscription. I mean, really a leader in the industry for that stuff. So I'm definitely interested in that kind of thing. What do you think about how Sony has transitioned between those two?
Well, it's a logical transition. It's the way the whole market's going, and we're trying to lead it. You know.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I'm happy to see it. And of course, you have the EverQuest Next coming out. You just released Dragon's Prophet, which just came out, so you've always got something. Okay, so just to get into it, we got a lot to show today. I've got the fantastic SOE Live 2013 Parachute Pack on, which I have been looking for high points in Free Roams to jump off of. But you wanted to show some things. You showed me one little thing earlier that I thought was just ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
And if you want to show that again and explain what it is and when it's coming and how much money people are gonna spend, how many quadrillion dollars people are gonna spend.
So I tell you what, you want me to do first is I'm gonna run up the top of this hill. I'm gonna show you kind of the precursor to that item I showed you a minute ago. So let me head up this hill here and just kind of watch me.
Okay.
And I'll do a little flyby for you.
Okay, here he is going up there. He automatically was dancing because he went by the dancing machine. Oh wow, he's going all the way up there.
Yeah, go right here.
Still dancing. Done dancing.
Okay, so here is what we refer to as the Firehawk.
Okay.
Now this is kind of cool because it's one of our first rides that actually does better in the air than it does on the ground.
Okay.
I mean, this thing has some major distance it can travel in the air. So check this out.
Okay.
This is just with a quick hop off the ground.
Oh.
You see me?
No, where'd you go? Oh wow! Oh my gosh! You flew over me! Holy crud! What is that?
That is the
Whoa! How cool!
So basically, this thing is meant to fly, and if you cruise on the ground with it, it's not as exciting.
Right.
So you go find yourself a nice bounce pad, and if we cruise over to Seaside, I can fly all the way up to almost the racetrack.
Okay.
On the far end of the Seaside, and all the way back in one jump.
Yeah.
So it shows this thing gets a lot of distance.
Head to Seaside, and I'll just teleport to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do that. Give me a moment here.
That is just wicked looking.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
All right.
Okay, so let's head over to the bounce pad over here.
So the Firehawk's it's not out yet.
It's not out yet. This is coming out probably on the 29th.
Okay, let me get on my BMX bike. Yeah, you don't have sparkles.
BMX
right?
chasing a jet, something like that. It almost looks kind of odd seeing this thing hovering on the ground, doesn't it? After you fly.
Well, here, I'll tell you what. Here, I'm going to get off my bike, and you're going to jump on that. I'm going to jump in a parachute. So.
I tell you what. Yeah, you can probably do that, and then meet me down by the beach, and I'll fly all the way down by where all the people hang out by the volleyball net. Okay. So we'll go.
I'm looking for it. Did you already jump? Oh, there you go. Oh, no, that's the. Oh my gosh. The parachute is just so cool. I'm still getting used to it. I'm looking for you. So when you jump off, how you can just stay in there for a long time? Is that the point?
Yeah, the whole point is have this vehicle that you can kind of. This is the precursor to flying. I've always wanted to have flying in the game.
Sure. Oh yeah.
There's some technical limitations to it, but we're starting to break the barrier. So we're starting to remove a lot of those invisible walls that exist in the world.
There you are.
You see me?
Yeah. That is too cool.
And the one thing with this ride is it's a one-way thing. It can only glide, so it can't really change out to like go vertically. You know what I mean? So you're kind of limited to hitting a bounce pad,
all right,
flying around and landing it.
Now, where did you go again? Because I saw you passing all the people here.
Oh, I'm going over by the water here.
Okay.
I'll tell you what.
So when is that going to be available?
This is the 29th.
Okay. Of October.
So basically what happens is when you purchase all of the other combiner rides, so this is known as a combiner ride. This is the last one in the series.
Okay.
So there's 5 other vehicles. There's the Blast Rover, the Herocopter, the Hover Ring, the Cybercycle, and this is the Firehawk.
Okay.
And once you buy all 5 of these rides, it unlocks Smack 'em, which is the 5th one. Smack 'em's the robot, which I'm going to show you here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here you are.
The cool thing is,
look at that.
you get Smack 'em for free when you own all the other ones.
Oh my gosh! So nobody in the game has that yet. That is
no, just watch people run towards me.
That is the most.
Well, typically that's what happens.
So each oh, I see. It's like a Voltron in a way. Each piece is making a part of the bot there.
Correct. Yeah, and the one you saw me in earlier, that's the jet. That's
the center and all that. You know, you've done quite a few of these kind of more mechanized, kind of robotic, sci-fi kind of stuff. Is that a direction you're going to continue going, or is that just driven? Is that driven by
you know? It's funny that you bring it up because lately I've been like, hey, this combiner ride's been floating around in our design books for quite a while, and recently I was like, okay, we need to kind of tone down the tech stuff for a while because we've done too much of it.
Right. Okay.
So we kind of want to go back to some of our roots and kind of put some more attention towards. Maybe doing some new styles. There's a lot of things going, a lot of changes for Freedoms right now. I don't know if you're interested in this, but we're starting to theme our months.
Okay.
So each month has, if there's not a holiday associated with that month, it gets its own theme so that there's a constant kind of party going on in the world. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So like last month was 8-bit month. I don't know if you noticed that, but we put out a lot of 8-bit items. We had quest lines associated with it.
Okay. Some
coin shop items, and this month is. Halloween, so we need to do, we need to deviate from that. But coming next month, there is what we're referring to as Lost Treasures Month.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be kind of an Indy Jones themed month.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
So, yeah, and you're going to be try to digging up old items that used to be available in free roams in the old days.
Very cool.
So, anyway.
That's awesome. So this will be the 29th of this month, though, right? Or is that just
yes, 29th. So just on Halloween, we'll put this podcast. It's Halloween on the 29th, right?
It's typically on the 31st, but when they
31st, yeah. I'm on. Sorry.
But my question is, so are some of these vehicles already available, and just that last one is available on the 29th?
Everything's available except for that jet that I showed you and the robot.
So let me see where the.
So if you go in the store.
Here,
let me.
Rides.
Yeah, store rides.
Oh, there you go. Herocopter right there. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Cybercycle.
Okay. Now, I would be typically my character would be inside the vehicle. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, and you can see exactly where they match up on the bot. That is so cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, very
That's
cool.
why they're not tenable either, because it would have caused some other issues trying to keep them matched.
I see.
So.
Very cool. So that's going to be available. That last one will be available on the 29th. And once they get that. Now the suit, once you're in the suit or once you're transformed or whatever. And by the way, chat room, let me know if I'm having any audio issues, because Twitch was really having audio issues the other day. If my voice is all distorted, it was cutting out. But let me know. And by the way, chat room, if you have any questions for the producer of Free Roams, which you're listening to right now, feel free to pop it in the chat room there. Just see if you can get an answer. Some of the questions, of course, he can't answer because he's not available, say, everything, but he might be able to answer. So once you're in the suit, though, once you're transformed, are there special abilities, or is it like a ride, or there's an 8-bit bike?
This is basically a ride. Yeah, I tell you, I'd love to make this thing some sort of combat mech in the future.
Or you could fight other mechs or whatever. Yeah.
That'd be lovely. But right now, it's just a really cool ride. He glides too.
So that's a question then. How do you gauge the success of a design? Basically, I know that the game has the cash shop, which is very centered in. I mean, a lot of people say it's too centered around the cash shop. Me personally, I think that the cash shop and the items that you can unlock with coins, which means for free through gameplay, is content to me. Free Realms is a social game in a world, and kind of the idea is to kind of decorate and stuff like that. So, but how do you, because of that cash up, are you able to see an instant reaction to an item you put in? Like if you put something in there, it's like not successful, and you go, oh no, or do you just kind of throw stuff out there and see what works?
Well, I'll tell you what happens is we have a pretty good idea of what sort of items are popular and what are not.
Right.
And we have all of our tracking tech in the background here where we watch daily. So it's very easy for us to tell whether it's a success or not.
Okay.
Even after just a couple days. So something like the Combiner Ride will be an interesting test because, we've been watching the sales of the other combiners, and then whenever this robot comes out, he's going to pretty much spawn people to be, interested in having him, right? So to have him, you got to own the other Combiner Ride. So then we'll be watching the numbers on that and see how collection type things like this work. Because if it works out well, we may do other things. A suit of armor with a special sword that maybe you can only obtain by collecting the rest of the armor.
So somebody asked in the chat room, does the bot have any emotes or any special action? Now, the emotes that we're seeing it doing, right, those are just idle animations from.
Yeah, those are, so he had rides typically just have idles is what they have, and he has like a jump and smash, like you can see that, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he also glides. You want me to glide him by you real quick?
Yeah, sure. Oh, he moves so cool.
Yeah.
That is a really nicely weighted model there.
Yeah.
It's there he goes. Now he'll probably here he comes.
So watch when I go forward, you'll see the propeller spinning.
Oh yeah.
Like back, he kind of does a.
Very cool.
It's kind of cool.
So now you're saying that the gliding is going to be a precursor to flying. What are you trying to say there? That eventually we'll be able to fly freely through Free Realms?
Well, ideally, what I'd like to see is after we remove all these invisible barriers from the world, I'd love to give people the ability to just buy a little plane and fly around.
Sure.
It's not possible right now, so I'm not saying that's happening yet. Right. But just gliding the way we're doing at great distances right now, is kind of the precursor to it. So we have half the tech. We just need to come up with another way to give people an easy way to control vertical acceleration and such.
Right. Well, and for example, a lot of people say, well, why can't you just allow people to fly? Some content depends on not flying, like the maze.
Yes.
You don't want people to be, and that was always the problem with older titles or titles that did not have flying in them from the beginning, is that you couldn't just add flying because you don't want necessarily quote unquote cheating or stuff like that. Sure. So it is a work in progress, I'm sure.
There's even places in the world where you'll get stuck on the rooftop of a building where we collision from. But we're to the point now where like, hey, it's very easy just to teleport to safety if you get stuck somewhere.
Right.
If something like that exists, so it's more fun to kind of give the players exciting things to do than it is worry about if they're going to get stuck in a geometry somewhere.
Right. So a question in the chat room, Spellbinder, of course, Spellbinder, everybody knows, coolest person in the world. Will the chicken ride be moving to the Station Cash shop at some point so lifetime members have an opportunity to purchase it? Is the chicken ride not available in the Station shop?
So the chicken was part of what was that? It was one of those promos that I got, like a summer promo or something. But basically, we've been holding on to a bunch of stuff that were used for those 3-month membership promos.
Okay.
And we're going to eventually give them to members. We just haven't gotten around to coming up with a nice way to do it, except for just granting it right across the board. We kind of want to give it a little meaning when we give it out. Okay. But members will get it. Okay. And in the meantime, if you look, like if you pull down the what's new screen, the welcome screen, you'll see that every month now we're giving out some pretty epic stuff for members. They usually get 1 to 2 unique items every month that nobody else can get.
That are only available in the shop for members?
Yeah. So I think we've been doing our due diligence on that and come up with something cool for everybody every month. So until we get to those other remaining items, just hang tight and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, and you've been redoing a lot of this. The welcome screen has changed a lot. It's becoming slowly better and better, easier to understand. What are some of the areas of concern left, you think, for the welcome screen or for a new player in Free Realms? Because the new experience is pretty good, but once you're in Free Realms, it can be a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah, I still have concerns about that initial 5-minute experience that players have. And that is, when you get into the cave and she talks to you, there's some voiceover and such.
Right.
But, watching people play, I still see them get confused. with the controls in the beginning, and then those stones fall down. Are you familiar? You know what I'm talking about, right?
It's been a while since I've made a new character, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a little 5-minute experience that we thought would be good to kind of get people up to speed. I still see people struggling with it, so I'm not completely happy yet with the intro.
You're slowly gathering a crowd. And so another question is, you have the station cash shop, you still have the coin shop, which coins, I have almost 500,000 coins. I've never spent them really. I spent them a few times, but is the coin shops, has it been keeping up with the coin? And it's not going to be equivalent of the station cash shop, of course, but is it something you try to keep up so that coin players or free players can continually to get some good stuff?
That's the current idea. So basically, the last few months we haven't been giving a whole lot of love to the coin shop, but we've been restructuring what we're doing with it. So that coin shop is eventually going to go away.
Really?
We're going to take that thing completely away, and all the items due to buy in there are all being moved to NPCs currently. So every release, we're putting on a couple NPCs that actually hold those items. So if you want to buy coin items, you kind of got to know where to go, who to find. Make it more of an in-world thing, you know?
Oh, okay. So basically, you're moving into an in-world type of thing.
Yeah. Okay. So it's and it'll be logical. You'll go up to an archer, and he sells all archer items, you know. So over time, you'll figure out where all these.
Yeah, because that can be a little bit confusing as well. You look through items, and the shop still can be a little bit confusing, as well as looking through your items. But what's been interesting though is to see how you've changed over. I remember when, because like I said, I've been in here since beta. I remember when the beta came out, everybody was so excited, saying, Free Realms is like the next generation of gaming and stuff like that. Now, I think what a lot of people were talking about was it brought, I think, quote unquote, kids gaming to a new level. Also family gaming, but as an adult, I play a lot of games. I enjoy it just as an adult. So I remember back in the beta how excited people were, but I also remember how confusing it was at the time. I'm going to put VIP, I think. And it's since then it's become so much easier. Like your health bar, all your rides are right in the middle. So I guess it's always just a work in progress, huh?
Yeah, there's been a big push this year for UI improvements. Some people like them, some people don't. Like, you see the map in the top right corner, how we removed all the icons from it. I get praise for it, I get complaints for it on both sides. But in the end, I have to think about a new user coming in.
Sure.
And not somebody who's used to whatever they were given 2 years ago,
Right. So, just a side question, I've always wondered this. I've never even really checked into it. I've played Free Realms on the PS3 as well as like DC Universe Online. Is your Free Realms account on the PS3? I can't remember. Is it the same account as your PC version, or?
It's a completely different account, different environment. Yeah.
But can you sign in with your current Free Realms account?
No, you have to log in with it.
You make a new one.
Your PlayStation account is what it is.
Oh, okay. So just curious about that. I've had some people ask me, and I've played on it, but I knew it was a different character. I just didn't know if there was a connection type thing or whatever. Cool. So, all right. So, any other cool costumes you want to show me before I try out some Halloween content?
Cool costumes. Have you seen our new ride today? Our Undead Nightmare.
Somebody was on that earlier. That is fantastic. Yeah.
He's kind of cool. Oh, if you follow me to my house for a second here, I'll show you. Here, let me hop over there,
and I'll just teleport to you.
Yeah. We put out these spooky poppers today, which I think are kind of cool.
Go to you.
You might want to roll your camera all the way in.
Like first person? Yeah,
just go first person and walk through this tunnel here. Walk up to that little stone, that little tombstone.
This one here?
Yeah. You see?
That's cool.
Same thing with the pumpkin back there. And those are coin items. So, we're letting people make little like haunted houses and such.
Fantastic.
Yeah, this is my great construction ability here.
Well, I mean, you don't always get time.
Have you ever seen some of the stuff people make?
It's insane.
Oh my God.
I started to try to make a. Now these bricks seem new, but I could be wrong.
They are. Have you done much building in the game?
I tried to build it. Oh, look at me! I became something.
Yeah.
I tried to build a tree house, and I kept it up for a while, and honestly, it just did not. It just took a lot of work. So when I see people who build some insane, just like you can go to the to the house listing, And the house listing will you just explore for hours and just look at some of the creations. It's like, oh my gosh.
Well, there are some insane ones that people have showed me. I can't believe the amount of effort that people put in some of these.
So just to show kind of how you built this, you basically just stack these up. Now, your building tools, I don't know, have they changed? Have they received any alterations lately?
Yes. So last year we did a pretty decent improvement to the way things snap together and such, and we put out these new blocks, which you see they're more Lego-ish actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're designed to snap together very cleanly, so people can more accurately build. In the old days, there were blocks, and they were all different, varying sizes and such.
Right.
And it made it really difficult to position things, rotate them, and get something that you liked. Now with these, it's a little more, everything's a little more edgy looking, right? But you can get more creative. Like back here, you see some of my.
Where'd you go?
My 8-bit art I put behind. Oh, where'd you go?
I don't know. Oh, there you go. Oh, this is your whole thing here. Okay. Now, what lot is this? Is it like a Halloween lot?
This is one of my. This is my test lot that I used to.
Cool. It's a 8-bit what you call it, a ghost. Now, what is the fog up there from?
So that was something we sold last week. It's a fog machine for Halloween. It's sitting right over here. You can see one.
So cool.
And people had the great idea that you could use them for clouds and all kinds of random stuff.
So if you just lift them up a little bit.
Yeah, you just move them wherever you want. And they give you a cloud plane.
Wow. So cool.
Yeah, that cool.
Now, can you give us an idea, kind of a glance into the process of creating items or content for the game? Do you have a brainstorm meeting? Look at the skulls, so good. Do you have like a brainstorm session and people just kind of throw together some sketches, or what's the process?
Oh yeah, it kind of varies. I mean, a lot of times we'll be sitting around talking about cool things we should do, and then it'll start as a concept art somewhere, and then we'll talk about it. Then we'll get a rough 3D version of it going.
Right.
And we'll just pop it in a game, start messing around with it and talking about it, and when we like it, we're like, hey, let's make this thing official and get it out there.
Well, you definitely have everything matches. It seems like it's from the same world, which I guess there's probably somebody's job to make sure everything looks similar.
Yeah, it's our art director. His job is to make sure everything has continuity.
Very cool.
If you here, take a look at something. I'll give you a nice little story about this one. Let me pull out Tony. He's one of our newest pet pals.
Oh God.
So this guy, there's a great story behind him. Yeah, I was walking down one of our hallways one day, and our art director drew this picture of a little dude with a toe, with arms and legs. And I'm like, that's so funny. Let's put it in the game. And they're like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah, put it in the game. So we all kind of bantered each other for a little bit, and finally I got my way, and Tony got in the game.
That is so cool.
Yeah, he's kind of an odd fellow.
What is with Sony's obsession with digits lately? They also in EverQuest they just put a hand.
Did they?
Not just did it, but recently they put a hand that was basically a mount, and it's literally a hand that you ride around on, and it's absolutely freaky looking. It's got nails and everything.
That's awesome. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, I thought you just had a digit thing going on in the offices maybe.
No, Tony was completely random actually.
Really?
Yeah, then we just decided to make him a monthly member pack, and I'm like, yeah, it's perfect. It's Halloween.
Well, that gives an idea though of how kind of the process is. It can be literally Free Realms since it's not necessarily there is a lore in Free Realms, but since it's not a restrictive lore that says it has to be science fiction or it has to be this or whatever, you can really make all sorts of different things, which I really like.
Yeah, another one is that Combiner ride. There's a nice story about him, and it's based on our art director. A lot of people know that. Our art director, Matt Case, he is a big Transformer collector.
Oh, yeah?
Now, I'm sure you've seen pictures of his office from some SOE something or another.
Yeah.
Where he's got like probably 1,500 Transformers surrounding his office. And we gave him the option to come up with one for Free Realms, some sort of like robotic concoction.
Right.
And that's where the Combiner rides came from.
But it needed to look Free Realms-ish. Which
needed to be Free Realms-ish, yeah.
That's very cool. All right, so let's see. Anything else you want to show before I?
No, not in here. We can go on and exit out the house.
Okay. Now that'll take us right back to CC.
Yeah. Do you want to head back up to the trick or treating area?
Yeah, I haven't done. That was up by.
Yeah, I'll go up there. You can teleport to me.
Okay. And then all my friends teleport to me.
I
didn't know if you noticed that or not.
Yeah, there's lots of people.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. Okay, so we're up by, my gosh, why am I blanking out? Where'd you go? Oh, look at the Tiger mount. Everything looks so good. Spellbinder is, of course, showing off all the mounts They have turkeys and stuff. He's up here, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Halloween Harry's right where I'm at.
Now, Halloween Harry is at where the Halloween stuff is. Now, how long will the Halloween stuff be in game? Just through
So this is going through. Let's see here. I'm looking at my calendar. November 5th is when Halloween will turn off, and we'll switch over to the next event, which is Lost Treasures.
Okay. So these guys here. Oh, this is another quest here as well. Okay, so he's going to be given as well. There's a nasty specter called Pumpkin Prince terrorizing the good folks of Sacred Grove. Okay. Now, the Pumpkin Prince is not the same one that randomly comes into the game, right?
He is, yeah. That is a Pumpkin Prince.
Okay. And it'll announce whenever he's...
Yeah, you'll see the announcement. They're basically on your map. If you look for Stillwater Crossing, that's a spot where everybody zones to, and they just kind of go attack him. As long as you get on his attack list, you hit him once.
I'm forgetting where Stillwater's at. All these names are so familiar because I've been playing for so long. I just can't remember Stillwater.
It's right to the bottom right of Sanctuary. So you'll see that the tree. Good.
Oh,
right
there we go. Okay. So people normally go there, and that's where he's gonna not necessarily
see that
spawn.
pop up, just head over there, and you'll find him.
Okay. So another question while I'm kind of waiting on him to pop in here. Sunstone Valley opened last year, I think.
Yeah.
Do we have any other plans? Because we had Sunstone, and then I thought there was talk about another one. Have you heard anything else about any other new environments opening up?
So right now, doing more land expansions like that is kind of semi on hold for us because it's just it's a huge undertaking, and it consumes a lot of time. And right now, I'm really focused on getting content out on a weekly basis to everybody.
Okay.
So with our team size, to put all of our effort towards another zone right now, we'd have to go dark for a while, and it's not a good idea because Free Roams thrives over having content releases consistent.
Yeah.
So right now there's Ponyvale, which is sitting out there, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have snuck in there and checked it out, and that's fine. But there's nothing going on, and it's just kind of sitting there waiting for us to do something with.
Right.
So.
I mean, it is more land, but it's still a very large. It's still a very large area, so you can still put him in there. What about Mr. McGrew, aka Coin Miser?
Yeah.
Who's that?
He's just some grumpy old man. This guy over here, huh? Abacus Coin Miser.
Why am I not familiar with this guy?
He just showed up recently. He's complaining about the coin economy.
What?
He's complaining about the coin economy.
Coin is on there with a few around or something like that. Now, is this maybe a bit of a foretelling of what you were talking about earlier with the coins eventually going away?
I guess if you believe what little old men say.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this, I don't know. I guess there are some, but this is kind of a unique model for Free Roams. This old human male model, unless I've seen him somewhere else. But that's a very unique looking character, so that's cool to see. But
yeah.
So he's basically, there. You think the monster's treasure chest and stuff, they are flooding the market coin. They want the economy to crash. Oh, okay. So we're seeing our own recession and everything. That's cool.
Exactly.
Okay, so I've got to find that quest. So let's see. I'm going to go to Cobblestone. No, I'm going to go to other quests. What was that one called? The first one. I think it was just trick-or-treating. So what he said, you go up to trick-or-treaters. I don't know.
Yeah, so first of all, start over at Halloween Harry here and get his first quest.
Oh, I'm quest or log is full. Let me get rid of something here. I literally have quests that are probably as old as the game because I just forgot to do. All right, let's see here. Okay, so to scare someone, use the scare emote. Click on the emote button and then the basics category. You'll fit just click on it. You can also type scare. So emotes are right here, and dramatics.
Yeah, so you can do /scare if you walk up to somebody like start on one side of the road here. If you follow me.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of working your way, and you'll see light beams on the people you can actually do it to.
Oh, okay. Oh, and they're trick-or-treaters. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So the ones with light beams are the ones you want to target.
Oops, did I not do it right? Oh, cool. Trick-or-treat. So what did I get? Skeleton candy. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So how big does the trick-or-treating go? Does it go throughout the game?
Yeah. Well, this particular quest goes up and down this whole city area pretty much.
Okay.
I'll follow you in a mech. How's that?
Yeah. How rude? What is how rude? Let's see. Oh, that's another quest. I'll do that later. Are you in the mech?
Yeah, I'm just.
Oh man, we're gonna have a crowd following you now. That's a good Halloween costume. Oh, gotta scare first. Forgot.
Let me check the chat here in case I'm missing anything.
So over the years, you've been working on it for a long time now. How long has it been? What, over 3 years, right?
I probably got a good 3 years in on it. Yeah.
Okay. So what has been some of the well, I mean, what have you learned over that time coming from Sony that normally makes, you know, quote unquote adult MMOs? What do you think the difference is there?
Well, I tell you, I think we misjudged what a kid is capable of doing.
Okay.
When we put some of these quests and, you know, gameplay mechanics in. So I think we dumbed down a lot of stuff to the point where it didn't have to be that easy, you know.
Right.
So now we're kind of just doing some adjustments. We're putting overland combat. You know, some people complain about it, some people love it, but in the end, it's, you know, for the general populace.
Right.
Yeah, but generally speaking, it's just, you know, we're just trying to give a little more challenge to the game. That's what kids like. You know, I watch. You know, I have a couple of kids myself. I watch one of them play. He's a 7-year-old, and sometimes he's like, well, that was dumb. And I'm like, well, thanks, dude. So
very honest.
I go to work and I'm like, let's fix this.
Right. But that, you know, I guess that's the best way to do it. In fact, I cover a lot of independent games all the time, and a lot of those independent developers have no idea what's wrong. They just can't figure it out. I'm like, have you ever sat down and watched somebody play your game? And they just never do it. And it's like you have to see, in this case especially, you want to see a child or at least somebody, you know, a tween or something, you know, play it. And I'm sure you learn a lot.
Difference, yeah.
What I mean, do you, other than that, is the community different than your typical MMOs from your experience?
You know, actually, no. Strangely enough, you know, our community, they're pretty critical, just like your typical MMO community.
Right.
Although, you know, in our forums and such, we're still age restricted, so you have to be over 13 to use our forums. So we get most of the adult players posting in them, you know.
But that's, you know, 14 is still a child, but I know what you mean. A little
yeah,
older.
But
Yeah.
I mean, the original target audience was 9 to 14, right? So.
See, I don't get that. I'm 40 almost, and I play the heck out of games like this.
I agree.
I think it's just a great experience. What I've always talked about with Free Realms as well is the fact that there is challenges there, especially with the minigames and the puzzles. You can really get into some pretty challenging modes. The collectible card game can definitely be a challenge. Stuff like that. The combat's much easier, but that doesn't, to me, that's fine by me. The farming is a little bit easier, but it can be a challenge. But it has this relaxing element to it, where it's just, you can log in when you're having a bad day, and it's just instantly relaxing, you know. So I for one appreciate that. Now, I haven't experienced the PlayStation. Maybe the chat room has experienced the PlayStation community as well. But now, as far as the PlayStation community, are you the same? You work on that as well, or is there a different producer?
No, it's the same team essentially.
Okay.
I don't have a whole lot to say on PlayStation. You know, it hasn't gotten a whole lot of content updates recently. It's kind of been on its own path for a little while now, but it stays stable and it runs. So.
Right. Now, where am I at here? You were saying people normally go to where again? Not to the junction, was it? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking in the wrong area. Stillwater Crossing.
Are you still? Did you get the notice?
No, I just figured it's happening soon because everybody's showing up there. Oh, and there's new class. So he will pop in here, and then what is the idea? In fact, let me just read the quest here. Let me see what it says. Trick or treat. All right, so I've been trick or treating. Once I do that, is there a certain number of trick or treatings I need to do? Here we go.
Here, come on, follow me.
All right, where'd you go? Okay.
Okay. Grab a bike or something so you can move quicker.
Okay, yeah.
See the pumpkin prince down here? Just what you want to do is you want to get a shot in on him.
He is here. Okay. Oh, I got to use some archery or something. Let's see here. Archer, there we go.
There you go.
I've always enjoyed archery. So he's basically terrorizing everything. Now, I thought there was a different... Actually, you know what I'm thinking of? Is a fantastic, amazing-looking Valentine's Day monster.
Oh, yeah.
I just love that. You can actually buy the costume, can't you?
Yeah, isn't it an illusion or something?
Yeah, an illusion for it, and it's so cool looking. I'm not as familiar with this guy, but once you destroy him, is the idea that you're basically saving the area and all that?
Yeah, pretty much, and you actually get some loot.
Oh, cool.
So hang tight, you'll get a little box or something.
Also, PS3 is pretty dead when it is. Is the PS3 game? Is the PS3 community smaller? I should say.
Yeah, it's a small community.
Okay. I wonder why that is. I mean, it's a free game. It's on a huge market, so.
I say small, but it's still there's a significant amount of players that play.
Sure. It's just
compared
smaller.
to like the PC version.
Yeah.
It's,
Yay! Dead.
Yeah, just grab some loot.
Oh yeah, I will. Claim my reward.
Face paint and 10 ectoplasmic goos.
Ooh, what's the goo for?
I don't know.
Let's see here. All new items.
There's so much stuff in this game.
Yeah, and in fact, that's one thing. If I could complain to you for a second, that's one thing. It is the inventory is pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Because nothing disappears. It's kind of a similar game. If you've ever heard of Second Life, I'm sure you have.
Yep.
If the chat room's familiar with that at all, the inventory can almost be really overwhelming to the point that when you load, it's. I mean, is that a constant? I guess you could search like goo. I could put goo, and oh, there it is. Cool, I found it. Okay, so I guess you have a search in there. But do you recommend people try and sell some of this stuff off, or is it collectible?
I mean, so storage is one way to solve it. When we have the storage containers, you can just go up to the Rob Goblin and have them store all your miscellaneous stuff that you don't use.
Right.
Or you can buy a storage bin for your housing area and store it in there.
And there's, I also noticed in the station cache there is a vault increase. What was it? Banking increase, right?
Yeah.
And see, for a long time, whenever I first started there, the bank upgrades. There we go. You had the ticket vault where you'd get free prizes, and so the bank is now. Where's the bank at? Because I don't know if I.
So bank, if you pull up your map, you'll find.
Oh, there it is, right there. Bank.
Oh, if you look on Seaside, right above the warpstone on the map, there's something that says Banker.
Yeah, and there's also one in Sanctuary.
Yeah, there's one there too.
Okay, let me see this guy. I wonder if I actually used him yet. Oh my gosh, I haven't used my bank at all. I should use that. So has the bank seemed to alleviate some of the inventory issues?
Hard to tell. I've gotten both sides of the story from people.
Okay.
It's if you just have a bunch of junk you wanna hide out of your view, that's what I use for myself.
Well, I think the thing is with free roams is you have so much stuff that you'll often want to pull out once in a while and just play with for that amount of time. Or little parts. There's a ton of clothing items, of course, all that good stuff. So there's always something to. You don't want to get rid of anything, in other words.
Yeah.
But I think while that might be a problem, I wonder how you feel about. There's a theory in a lot of game design about giving people items that are nostalgic. They can look at it 5 years later, and it still looks good. They can still use it. That sort of thing. I wonder if you're going for that, or is it just you just want to keep putting a lot of stuff in the game?
Well, I think we're kind of going that way, right? Whenever you look at the monthly member packs, right?
Right.
So now, especially more than ever, it used to be in the old day you get some coin, you get a couple, you get a T-shirt, a couple things. Now we're giving you, significantly cool items that nobody else is going to get, at least for some time.
Oh, here we go. I got the quest turned in. I forgot. Okay.
There you go.
Wow, fantastic job with the prints. To be honest, or to be fair, it was everybody else as well. So let's see. Thanks. What did I get? Wraith candy. That'll turn me into a wraith for a while. What's that in your hands? Oh, here we go. Ectoplasmic goo from the ghosts. Halloween Harry has been collecting it. Try giving it to him. Okay, so that's what you use the goo for. Now, how many times can you kill the prince? Because it just as many times as he shows up.
Oh yeah. He'll show up and you can go hit him up as often as you like.
Okay. Hello there, you've been, happy Halloween, thanks. So, tiger face paint card. So for the goo, I got something, I got a tiger face paint card. So that I can go to my, style cards, right?
Yes.
There we go.
Oh, did you know style cards are now permanent?
No, huh?
Yeah, and we even added some new hair colors too. So basically, it used to be in the old days, you buy a style card, you use it, and you consume it.
Right.
Now it just becomes part of your inventory, and you can change colors and whatever you want as often as you like.
So if I would go to style cards, face paints. So why is that one not showing up? Maybe I'm not. Let me see what it says here. The face paint card. Let's take a look here. Style cards. Tiger face paint card has a red lock on it. I can never use this item.
Oh, did you get a female version?
Probably.
Yeah, that's something we need to fix. I tell you.
So is that something I can sell, or I just keep trying?
Can't do anything with it.
Oh, that's fine. Well, what we'll have to do is just all tonight and this rest of the holiday, I'll just have to go kill the prince a million times.
There you
Because
go.
I mean, for one drop. Now, I take it there's several different prizes you can get during.
Yeah, it varies.
Okay.
There's a handful of rewards.
So you can always go back to Stillwater. Now, I'm not asking how many times the timing of the thing. That's for players to figure out. But when the announcement goes up, he'll pop in here again, and it's always going to be Stillwater Crossing or this area. Is the idea that he's marching over the entire land, or?
I don't know the backstory. The designer who wrote that a while ago, he's not with us right now.
Okay.
Don't know the backstory, to be honest with you.
Well, that's kind of a giveaway anyway. We don't want to give it that away. Okay, so done a little bit of a Halloween quest. What else? Any more cool rides? Any other teasers you want to show?
I can show you something that a lot of people, well, a handful of people have seen, but it's not available yet. Let me go over to a populated area.
Okay. Tell me when, or I'll just follow you once you teleport.
Yeah, give me a second. You
Sure.
can tell when I get there. Have you ever seen the ballet boombox?
No, but does it make people ballet?
Yes.
That's nice. No, I mean that sounds
like
kind
what,
of cool.
I'm sure you have enough people that are going to follow you, right? So come on, everybody, zone over to us, and we'll get a little ballet going. How's that?
Where'd you go? I just missed you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Teleport to me again.
Okay. I mean, because your animations are fantastic in the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure the ballet is going to look good.
Let's do it right here.
All right.
So I get a few people kind of.
My sister was a ballet dancer, so this will be good. That is a pumpkin on you. All
Right.
right.
All right, 4 people are enough.
Yeah, sure.
Here we go.
Okay, so this is the boombox. It's like the Nutcracker for Christmas.
Oh, and I tell you, we've got a boombox coming out next month.
Yeah.
That is going to be epic. And I can't say much except for think monkey DJ.
Really?
Yeah.
Just fantastic. Look at the animations. Just kind of an insider question. How do you come up with animations like that? You have an animation artist, a guy who's developing.
Yeah. These animations, I think this was done by Floyd. I'd have to ask him, but Floyd Bishop, he's been with us for a long time. He's currently on another team, but he still helps us with animations here and there. It basically takes between a week to 30 days, depending on how long the dance cycle is.
Right.
And he'll basically hand tweak these whole things. So he'll grab like a video of somebody doing ballet.
Wow.
He'll just watch it on the screen and recreate it.
Yeah, I've toured other game studios, and I've watched as they've literally manipulated the, underneath the characters a skeleton or a mesh or something.
Yeah.
Literally, like animated like in a movie, and it takes a long time. And once that's saved, but these are really flawless. There's a cycle. It doesn't look to skip or anything. So it's just a really kudos on the animation artist.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show a lot of the kids out there who might be wondering, you don't just make a game by. You have to sit there and make every little step of the game. Then you have to make sure it looks good on all male and female characters and with certain clothes. And
then you throw a pixies into the equation, and it makes it even more difficult.
Oh, right.
A piece of clothing needs to fit not only humans but pixies.
Well, aren't these pixies here on the ground when they're supposed to be flying?
Well, during dance.
Oh, right. That's what I'm saying. That's interesting. You see them actually standing instead of.
Yeah.
So this is not available yet as well.
No, and this one probably won't come out for a while because I'd like to add more animation cycles to it. To be honest with you,
I see.
It's kind of on the short side, but you'll see the DJ Monkey. I won't spoil it, but he'll be out next month.
Very cool. Very cool. This is fantastic. All right. Any other cool little teasers?
More teasers.
Because I love this stuff. I can watch this for hours and hours.
Yeah, me too.
Because I'm just waiting for the announcement of the Halloween King again. I'll go kill him. Why do the pixies have to fly? Can't we have an option to get on the ground or fly?
Wait, what's that? I'm sorry.
Somebody's asking from the chat room, why do the pixies have to fly? Can they actually? Is there a chance they could actually get on the ground, walk around, that kind
Well, we can always pluck their wings if you want.
Horrible option.
Not an option.
I like the fact that the pixies are always flying. As an option, would it be cool if they walked? Maybe. but I think at the same time...
We've talked about that, actually. I mean, we've been talking about new races and such lately. And if we do add another race to the game, it's most likely to be more humanoid.
Okay.
Because from a production standpoint, it's a little easier to deal with.
Sure.
You know, so if we put out, let's say, vampires or an elf or something, it would be a more humanoid creature, and it would be simple for us to manage.
Hey, we ought to run to Seaside and put this down on the beach real quick and watch everybody ballet.
Oh yeah, everybody trips out when I drop it because nobody's ever seen it.
Yeah, that's the idea. Well, very cool. I think we've probably seen enough teasers right now.
Sure.
So if somebody's let's say somebody's watching for the first time, young or old or whoever, what would you recommend they do in Free Realms as a new player first?
Well, so as a new player, it's funny. I just went through this with my son.
Mm-hmm.
You got to really, it's really easy to get sidetracked in our game,
right?
And get off the initial path, which I think the initial path is really important. Go through the tutorial, do the quest lines for the first probably 2 to 3 hours worth of play, and then by the time you're through that, you'll get a better idea of what's going on in the game, and you'll just understand things better. You know, I watched my son jump in. He went through the tutorial, and he instantly like, give me a station cash card. I want to buy every ride in the game.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I'm like, no money for you until you play.
Well, and there's also a very strong lore element to the game.
Yeah.
Where did you get that? He's asking. But they, if you go to the sanctuary, for example, there's the big giant tree in the middle there. There's a quest line surrounding the queen and all that stuff like that. And when you get into it, it is actually it's a very pretty, it's a beautiful bit of lore. And it gives the game a depth, I think, that a lot of people do not know is there.
Yeah.
It talks about the world and how it was created and the seeds of the tree, all this wonderful stuff. So I would recommend somebody trying to go after that central lore. What would you call those central quests?
Well, you know, we've kind of deviated people out with the new introduction. So you get introduced to the big bad guy in the first 5 minutes of the game.
See, I haven't made a new character in forever.
Yeah, so once you go through this first quick little tutorial, I mean, you're introduced to the bad guy.
Right.
You're doing these quests to get to the queen. Then when you get to her, she kind of sends you off and tells you to learn about other jobs and such. So the story has a little slight twist to it.
Right. But can they still do those original quests where it kind of?
Oh yeah, they're all there. We've been trying to tie them all up, over the last year. I'd say a year or so.
Yeah, because it is an open world, and a lot of open world type of world games like this, you don't see as much of a strong lore element that connects it together, but Free Realms definitely have that. So that's Chapter 1. Thank you, Spellbinder. That's what it was called. I knew Spellbinder would know. But that's one of the great things about Free Realms is it has this kind of depth to it that if you want to play more quote-unquote seriously, you can. Or if you just want to dress up and dance all day, you can do that as well. So
exactly.
Fantastic.
It's really fun. Free Realms is a great from a development standpoint. Because literally, you can come in and you can do anything you want in this game,
yeah,
and it'll almost fit. Just like when we dropped that toe character, and any other game, we would have probably been fired for it.
Yeah.
But it's like, hey, let's put a toe.
Well, what I've been doing too is I've been going through the different classes or the jobs, and trying to level them each higher and higher. And, but I only get so far before I just get sidetracked. So on my last character, I leveled Adventurer, although I think it was called something else back then. I can't remember. Adventurer, a race car driver. I did that. I did a few classes first, and I just tried to go down the line and raise them. So in a lot of ways, for you older players who know what I'm talking about when I say this, it's actually a sandbox title where you have a character that you can make into whatever you want. You can make a crafter or an adventurer or whatever. So I definitely recommend going after the central lore, doing a lot of the quests, following the lines, but also picking a class a job or two, and just leveling it all the way because it really pays off. I really enjoyed the racing myself. I thought it was really cool. So
yeah, that's a key is kind of sticking with a job.
Yeah.
Trying not to deviate. It's really easy to deviate. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's not like an experienced older MMO player might have. It's not going to challenge him as much as let's say EverQuest Next might. I don't know. But it definitely has some challenges. So a ton of fun, and you can play with your kids and stuff like that. Anyway, so all right, well we're going to cut it off here because it's been roughly about an hour. If any of you have any last-minute questions, you better pop into the chat room. But thank you for joining me, of course, Steve. I appreciate that.
That was fun. Anytime you want, just hit me up and I'll join you.
Yeah, we were talking about this before the stream, but our other writer, our SWTOR writer, Larry, actually streams Free Realms with his kid. She's probably the coolest kid in the world. I think she's 11 or 12 now. And they do a split-screen deal. So if you ever want to watch a real interaction between a parent and his kid during a game, it's really funny to watch because she's very smart, but she's still 11, so she still gets kind of like sidetracked by the pretty things, and it's really a lot of fun. But I appreciate you joining me. It's been a ton of fun. If everybody wants to contact me, of course, you can see my contact information. Twitter is at @beau_hindman. Feel free to tweet me. You can also email me, especially if you have any Free Realms advice, or if you want to see me stream any particular games, want to suggest anything, go for it. Or if you have any questions for the SOE people, maybe I can get them, pass them along the way. Contact me there. But thanks again for joining me. I think next up after my stream, we have tonight at 9 p.m. EDT, EverQuest 2 with MJ. Speaking of Sony, EverQuest 2 tonight. And then I will be back on Friday with Dungeons & Dragons Online, which we haven't seen for quite a while. So, but I appreciate it. Once again, producer, master.
Cool, Bo. Well, thanks for inviting me. That was a blast.
Yeah, and thanks for showing me some sneak peek stuff. I'm sure that you just heard the ringing of 1 million cash registers when that robot came out. My gosh. That thing is incredible. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you on Friday, but stick around for MJ later on with EverQuest 2. See you later. Bye-bye.